Your anger isn't broken. It's trying to save you. Meet your inner, fire-breathing wisdom dragon, seriously. Anger, protector, boundaries, wisdom dragon. Let's be brutally honest for a second. When was the last time you thought, wow, this boiling rage I feel toward my laptop freezing, that driver who cut me off, or my colleague's passive-aggressive email is truly a profound gift from my higher self? Probably never. More likely, you felt a wave of shame, frustration, or vowed to meditate yourself into a Zen coma. We treat anger like the embarrassing, slightly unhinged relative crashing our emotional dinner party. Something to be hastily shoved into a closet, silenced with platitudes, "Calm down, dear," or numbed into oblivion. But what if I told you that your anger isn't broken, malfunctioning, or morally deficient? What if in its own chaotic, fire-breathing, occasionally socially awkward way, it's actually trying to save you? Buckle up, because we're about to reframe your inner Hulk as your most misunderstood, fiercely loyal guardian dragon. The great misunderstanding. Anger as villain. Cue the dastardly mustache twirl. Our culture has done anger dirty. We conflate it with violence, aggression, and loss of control. We see the screaming matches on reality TV, the toxic rants online, the road rage incidents, and we collectively shudder. Anger equals bad. Very bad. We preach suppression. Don't get angry. As if it were a choice as simple as not choosing anchovies on your pizza. Or worse, we pathologize it, viewing any expression of fiery feeling as a sign of deep-seated issues requiring immediate therapeutic intervention, and maybe a straitjacket. This creates a terrible bind. When anger bubbles up, that hot flush in your chest, the clenched jaw, the feeling like your head might actually detonate, we panic. Oh no, I'm becoming a monster. Quick, stuff it down. Smile politely. Think of kittens. We treat it like a system error, a glitch in our otherwise serene emotional software. This, my friends, is like blaming the smoke alarm for the fire. The alarm isn't the problem. It's desperately trying to alert you to the problem. Your anger isn't the inferno. It's the incredibly loud, flashing, impossible to ignore alarm system wired directly into your core being. Enter the hero, disguised as a rage gremlin, what anger actually is. So, if anger isn't the villain, what is it? Anger is your primal, hardwired, biological boundary enforcement system. It's your inner security guard, your personal integrity meter, your injustice detector, equipped not with a polite clipboard, but with a flaming torch and a foghorn. Evolutionary throwback with a point. Think back to our ancestors. Spot a saber-toothed tiger eyeing your cave. Anger, manifesting as intense, fear-fueled aggression, floods your system with adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart pounds, muscles tense, focus narrows, preparing you to fight for survival. See someone trying to steal your hard-earned mammoth steak? Anger surges to defend your resources. Witness injustice within the tribe. Anger fuels the courage to challenge the status quo. Anger was quite literally the emotion that said, "This will not stand. Act now." It was the spark plug for survival and social cohesion. The modern-day Leaky Bucket Brigade. Fast forward to today. The saber-tooths are mostly metaphorical, though Karen demanding to see the manager at 7 a.m. comes close. But the core function remains. Anger arises as a signal, a loud, urgent signal, that something vital feels threatened or violated. When your boundaries, that colleague dumping extra work on you again, anger flares. My time/energy/respect is being violated. To your values, witnessing blatant dishonesty, cruelty, or unfairness. Anger ignites. This goes against my core beliefs. This is wrong. 3, your needs. Feeling chronically unheard, unappreciated, or overwhelmed. Anger simmers. I need help / respect / space / support, and it's not being met. For your safety, physical or emotional feeling manipulated, disrespected, or genuinely threatened. Anger roars. Danger. Protect self. Imagine your psyche has a bucket labeled stuff I can tolerate. Every minor annoyance, every slight, every ignored request, every boundary nudge is a drop in that bucket. You suppress, you rationalize, it's fine. You people please. Drip, drip, drip. Then, one Tuesday afternoon, the lid on your pen falls off for the 3rd time. Kaboom! You transform into a screaming banshee, hurling the offending pen across the room like a tiny, plastic-tipped javelin of doom, terrifying your goldfish and possibly yourself. That explosion wasn't really about the pen, was it? That was your inner anger alarm finally blaring. Bucket overflow. Emergency. Emergency. Boundaries breached. Needs ignored. System failure imminent. For the love of all that is holy, listen to me now. It wasn't malfunctioning. It was doing its job spectacularly well, albeit with the subtlety of a toddler operating a flamethrower. When the alarm gets muffled, the perils of anger repression, spoiler, it gets messy. So, what happens when we consistently treat our fiery guardian like an unwanted gremlin and shove it in the closet? We don't make it disappear. We just force it to leak out in sneakier, often more destructive ways. 1. The passive-aggressive poltergeist. Instead of direct anger, you become the master of the backhanded compliment. Oh, that's the outfit you chose? The intentional forgetfulness, the glacial silent treatment, the sarcasm so thick you could spread it on toast. It's anger wearing a fake mustache and glasses, but everyone can still tell it's anger. 2. The resentment snail trail. Unexpressed anger congeals into a thick, toxic sludge of resentment. You stew. You ruminate. You keep meticulous mental scorecards of every perceived slight. Your inner monologue becomes a never-ending awards show for victimhood. It's exhausting and poisons your relationships from the inside out. 3. The physical backlash. Your body absorbs the stress. Chronic headaches, digestive issues, muscle tension, hello clenched jaw, high blood pressure, weakened immune system. Your body is basically screaming, you might be ignoring this anger, but I can't. Cut out. 4. The emotional zombie. Suppress anger long enough, and you often suppress all intense feelings. You feel numb, flat, disconnected. Joy loses its vibrancy. Sadness becomes a dull ache. You become an emotional ghost, haunting your own life. Not exactly the picture of serenity you were aiming for, is it? 5. The unpredictable Krakatoa. The repressed pressure builds and builds until kablamo, an eruption wildly disproportionate to the trigger, like the pen incident of 24. This is the anger we do fear, the uncontrolled outburst that damages relationships, careers, and your own self-respect. It's the alarm system finally short-circuiting and setting the house on fire itself because you refuse to acknowledge the initial smoke. Reframing the flame. From firestorm to signal fire, how to befriend your dragon. Okay, so anger isn't evil. It's a vital signal. Great. But how do we move from fearing the inferno to understanding the smoke signal? How do we transform our inner rage gremlin into a somewhat more civilized, yet still fiercely protective, wisdom dragon? 1. The sacred pause. Okay, don't just do something. Stand there. When you feel the heat rising, the flush, the clench, the urge to snap / scream / throw office supplies, stop. This is the single most crucial skill. Breathe. Seriously. Take one deep, slow breath, then another. This isn't about suppressing. It's about creating space between the trigger and your reaction. It's hitting the pause button on the movie just as the dragon starts to inhale. In that space lies your power. Ask yourself the magic question, what is this anger trying to protect or tell me right now? 2. Decode the signal. Channel your inner anger detective. Get curious, not furious. What specific boundary feels crossed? My colleague interrupted me again. My need to be heard is violated. What core value feels threatened? That political comment feels deeply unjust. My value of equality is screaming. What unmet need is bubbling up? I'm exhausted and said yes to another commitment. My need for rest is waving a giant, angry flag. Anger is rarely the primary emotion. It's usually the loud, protective response covering vulnerability, fear, hurt, or frustration. Dig beneath the lava to find the source. 3. Express. Don't impress or depress. This is where the comical meets the crucial. You don't have to roar like a lion tamer to be heard. You can channel your inner Shakespearean actor declaring, "Hark, forsooth, my boundaries doth feeleth trampled upon like a doormat at a mud wrestling tournament." But maybe start smaller. Use "I feel" statements focused on the violation, not the character assassination of the violator. I feel frustrated and disrespected when my ideas are interrupted. I need to finish my point before we move on. It's less dramatic than fire breathing, but surprisingly effective. Sometimes, simply acknowledging the anger internally. Okay, anger, I see you. You're really fired up about this. What's up? Diffuses its urgency. 4. Channel the volcano, constructive combustion, that fiery energy. It's powerful fuel. Don't waste it on screaming into the void or at tuna cans. Harness it. 1. Set boundaries. Use the clarity anger provides to firmly, calmly say no, renegotiate commitments, or remove yourself from toxic situations. Anger provides the courage. 2. Fuel action. Channel righteous indignation into activism, creative expression, angry painting, anyone, tackling a challenging project, or finally having that difficult conversation you've avoided. Turn protest into progress. 3. Problem solve. Anger highlights a problem. Use its energy to brainstorm solutions instead of ruminating on the offense. What concrete step can you take? 5. Laugh at the absurdity, because sometimes it really is ridiculous. Let's face it, the human condition is inherently absurd. Our triggers are often laughably petty in the grand scheme of things. Developing the ability to laugh at your own anger, once the initial heat passes, is incredibly liberating. Picture your anger as a tiny, red-faced, cartoon version of yourself stomping its feet and blowing steam out its ears because the Wi-Fi is slow. It's hard to stay enraged when you see the inherent comedy. Did you just have a full-blown internal meltdown because someone used the last of the milk and put the empty carton back in the fridge? Seriously? That's not a boundary violation. That's a sitcom premise. Acknowledge the feeling. Yep, that annoyed me. Then laugh at the sheer ridiculousness of your inner gremlin's over-the-top reaction. It diffuses the tension and reminds you not to take yourself quite so seriously. The gifts of the dragon. Why listening saves you. When you stop fighting your anger and start listening to its signal, profound shifts happen. Authentic power. You move from feeling like a victim of your emotions to someone who understands and utilizes their energy. You reclaim your agency. Stronger boundaries. You learn to protect your time, energy, and well-being proactively, preventing the infamous bucket overflow. Deeper self-knowledge. Understanding your anger reveals your deepest values, needs, and vulnerabilities. It's a roadmap to your authentic self. Healthier relationships. Clear communication of boundaries and needs replaces resentment and passive aggression. You attract people who respect your fire. Physical and mental well-being. Releasing chronic tension and stress improves your physical health. Acknowledging all your emotions, including anger, fosters genuine emotional resilience and prevents the numbness of repression. Purposeful action. That fiery energy, when directed, becomes a potent force for positive change in your life and even the world. Conclusion. Embrace your flawed, fiery protector. So, the next time you feel that familiar heat rising, whether it's because of global injustice, a snarky comment, or the sheer existential horror of a tangled headphone cord, pause. Take a breath. Instead of mentally berating yourself, ugh, why am I so angry? I'm terrible. Try a different approach. Place a hand on your chest, feel the heat, and think, hello there, my fiery friend. Bit worked up, are we? What's the emergency? What are you trying so desperately to save me from right now? Listen, decode, acknowledge. Then, channel that dragon energy wisely. Set the boundary. Speak your truth calmly. Tackle the problem. Or, if it's truly just about the empty milk carton, maybe just laugh, mutter, "You've got to be kidding me," and go buy more milk. Your anger isn't broken. It's not your enemy. It's your deeply flawed, occasionally hilarious, fiercely loyal protector. An ancient alarm system wired into your soul, constantly scanning the horizon for threats to your integrity, your values, your needs, and your well-being. It's trying to save you. Stop silencing it. Start listening. You might just discover that your inner Hulk is actually your most powerful, misunderstood superhero. And honestly, what's more engaging, exciting, and yes, even comical than realizing you've been trying to lock your own personal fire-breathing wisdom dragon in the basement all along? Unleash it responsibly. Listen to its roars and watch how your life transforms. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to have a stern conversation with my printer. It knows what it did. If you found this video informative, please like and subscribe. It will really help this channel out. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more informative videos coming.